Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Stage El Paso. Today, I'm accompanied by my guest, Austin Jimmy Murphy. He's a local guitarist and vocalist. He also runs a wonderful organization where he allows local talent and singer-songwriters to come perform. So I'd love to hear more about that. But first of all, let's learn about you. Where are you from? How'd you get here? And, what's your story, Jim?
Very good. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm from upstate New York, the Syracuse, New York area. When people, normally I mention I'm from New York, you think of New York City. Mm-hmm. But actually, Syracuse, New York is probably less than half the size of El Paso. It's just a little tiny town. The city itself is only 160,000 people.
Oh, wow.
It's Syracuse University's there, and, people make a big deal out of that. So it's an actual small town. And I used to roam around the country. I hitchhiked for a decade back and forth across this country, and then I started driving back and forth across the country as I got older. And I ended up in El Paso. I ended up in Austin, Texas, and that's how I got my nickname, Austin Jimmy Murphy. When I went back home, they nicknamed me Austin. So I was traveling through El Paso, and I was playing at the Chelsea Street Pub. I was playing in a trio at that time, and we were the first band to ever play at Chelsea Street Pub. And there I met my future wife. She was working there at the time, and we used to go over to Juarez and hang out in Juarez afterwards. And 3 years after I met her, we got married and moved up to upstate New York for 18 years, and we came back here in 2004.
Oh, wow. 18 years, huh?
Yeah. She was only a little girl, 23 years old, and her parents let her travel with me back to New York. So.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So the Chelsea Street Pub, maybe a lot of older locals are going to understand what that is, but describe that atmosphere for me. You had mentioned something about it being in a mall beforehand, so.
Right. It was at, what's the mall over here?
The Bassett Center Mall.
Bassett Center.
Bassett Place, I guess now, yeah.
And the gentleman owned 23 of these clubs. They were all in malls, and they all looked identically alike. They had kind of an island, effect, and they were known for their Jack Daniel's specialty drinks, the iced teas, and they had some other drinks. And they had bands that would play there 6 nights a week, and then you had Sunday off, and they'd usually book you for 2 weeks at a time. So we came to El Paso, played 6 nights, had that Sunday off, and the next Sunday would be our travel date to the next location. And we did that for about a year.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. So this group, you said it was a trio. What kind of trio was it?
Guitar, bass, and drums.
Oh, okay. So it was a good trio.
Yeah, we all sang, and it was a lot of fun.
Gotcha, yeah. What kind of music was it?
It was old-time rock and roll and some blues in there. I'm still mainly a blues artist and a country artist.
Okay.
But, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great. And you met your wife. Man, so that if you guys lived in New York for 18 years and you moved back here, how long has the marriage been?
35 years.
Ooh, 35 years.
36 years on November 8th.
Oh, yep. Congratulations. Yep. Man, that's a long time to be together sometimes.
She's paid her dues.
Yeah. Obviously. Cool. Well, that's great. What kind of sparked the interest in music? Why guitar? What was kind of the inspiration behind that?
Neil Young was one of my first interests. And, I was 16 years old at the time, and I just bought this Kingston acoustic guitar and started playing it. And, within a short period of time, I realized that I wasn't very good at learning music. And it wasn't until a few years ago I realized that maybe that was a deficiency of mine. So I started writing music when I was 16. It was easier for me to put something together lyrically and make notes on what chords I was using than to try and learn Neil Young's music. Or anybody's music, and it was always that way. When I turned into an electric guitarist, I just couldn't figure out Eric Clapton and everybody else. Yeah. So I've always been writing my own music that sounds similar, to rock music. Of course, you might say this is a Stevie Ray song or whatever, but it's mine. I just couldn't figure Stevie Ray out, so I wrote my own music.
Yeah, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah,
yeah, it makes sense. That's cool. I've attempted to write music a couple times, but I'm just I lose it. I want to just play so bad that I'm like, yeah, I'll just do something else. I'll come back to this, I'll start off really strong. I'll find harmonies and be like, yeah, that's cool. And then I'll try to think of words, and I'm not a lyricist by any means. I'm just like, nah, I'm not going to.
Well, you might be surprised.
Yeah.
First you have to write the lyrics down.
That's
and you
fair.
can't be afraid of writing down what you have in your heart. You know, you got to write it out and tell it to the people, and you might be surprised.
You know, maybe I'll come and take some classes or something.
You know, I'm also an author, and I wrote a book about growing up where I grew up. And, of course, there's a lot of characters in there, right? And I originally wrote the book with everybody's name in there. And then somebody said, no, you can't do that, man. You got to take everybody's name out of there.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, writing in that sense of things you know, you're supposed to write about things you know. Then you throw the truth in there along with the misnomers. But
yeah.
So keep that in mind.
That sounds good. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to take your word for it.
You will.
Yeah, I play drums for a living. You know, I'm more about rhythms and time than I am,
good.
You know, lyrics and melody.
Good
But
drummer's hard to find.
yeah, you know, I'm still looking for one. But yeah, so you run this program for you know songwriters
Right.
and people that are trying to just get some exposure. Can you tell me about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, I started out, I ran the New York State Blues Festival. I founded that and started that in 1992. I ran it for 12 years before I moved here. And it was the largest blues festival in New York State. I also started the Irish Guinness Festival in Syracuse, New York, big Irish community. I ran that for 5 years before moving here. So I've always had an interest in bringing people together and bringing artists together. So a little while ago, back earlier this year, I thought that I might start a singer-songwriter night that would take place once a month at the Borderland Steakhouse. And I would invite 4 singer-songwriters each month, and they'd each get a half an hour on the stage, just the acoustic guitar and just them. And, you know, a lot of people are used to playing in bands. So for you to get up on stage by yourself is a totally different story when you have no one else to depend on.
Yeah.
So it kind of leaves the singer-songwriter in their bedroom still playing the guitar and singing and creating the song. But it's worked out really well, and I've had over 30 artists enjoy this, and have invited some back, and I'll probably invite them all back eventually. But it's been a really nice event, and the audience is really attentive. I mean, it's so quiet in there, and usually we have 20 or 30 people attending, and I mean, that artist gets up there for the half hour, they tell stories, and they sing their original music. And some people say, well, can I bring my bass player? Can I bring this? Can I bring that? No, it's just you. And that's the way it's been going.
Man, 30 minutes is a generous amount of time too. That's good. It's a lot of time for vulnerabilities, though. I don't fault those that shy away from it, man.
I'll tell you, we've had some professional musicians that have gotten up there, in that first song or two, you got to get the nerves out.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can tell that even as professional as they are, they can be nervous up there as well.
Yeah, everything's so exposed. It's just like one of those things where it's like there's no hiding. Like,
that's right.
You can maybe hide, some bad pitch behind a guitar, maybe, but that's about it. You can't really get away with much.
It's a very simple setup.
Man, that's great. So where did this idea come from?
It was just, I don't know where it came from. I just thought of it one day. It's like, I want to do something. And I thought that, I'm a singer-songwriter. So I've performed twice there. I don't perform very much. If someone cancels out, then I might jump up there. But, I know there's a lot of, and here's the thing. El Paso really isn't coming forward, I don't think. I think there's got to be hundreds of there's almost 1 million people here. There's got to be hundreds of singer-songwriters. And, I post on different Facebook pages, the musician pages, and I don't get probably half of my artists are from Las Cruces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the El Paso musicians aren't stepping forward. They don't get paid. They make the tips. I split the tips with them. I don't get any of the tips, but they get the tips at the end of the night. And, if it's a good crowd, they can make a good buck for a half an hour's worth of work.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you heard it here. If you're interested, contact Jim, and let's see if we can get you guys scheduled for the next one.
I'd love to have more people in El Paso step forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Men and women. I mean, some of the women have been some of the better performers, I believe.
I wonder why that is.
Because they can tell a better story. comes more from the heart, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. So, as a singer-songwriter, do you find yourself writing music more often? How does that work? I don't think I understand fully.
Well, once you fall in love and have children, you slow down. Because most of your songs are about finding a woman, right? Or finding a mate.
Yeah.
So in the early days, you wrote about all the heartache and heartbreaks, but once you get married and things settle down, it's like, what the hell am I going to write about now?
Yeah, there's only so much happy you can tell, Oh, wow. Okay.
But lately, I'll tell you, what I do a lot of solo artist things now. I perform solo. But what I've done is gone back into this. I have a little home studio, and so I've recorded a lot of my own music, and I've, working with drum tracks, and I play the bass and I play the piano on some of it, but Ruben Gutierrez plays piano on a lot of my stuff. Kurt Bashaw plays bass. And so I've gone back and recorded my music without my vocals and without the lead guitar work, but I've got all the tracks behind me. So when I perform solo, I do 75% of my own music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So the two songs you're playing today, The Stranger Blues and Goodbye Baby, are these originals, or are these like arrangements of something else?
The Stranger Blues is an old song from, I'll think of their name in a moment, but that's an old blues tune that a couple of guys did back in the 1960s, a couple of old black blues artists, one harmonica player and a guitar player, Sonny Terry and Walter Brownie McGee. The second song, Goodbye Baby, is one of mine.
Okay. What's the, walk me through the process of Goodbye Baby. I'm not sure what the song's
Goodbye
about.
Baby is kind of a Stevie Ray style song.
Okay.
Sort of your standard blues lick with some nice guitar work in it. Goodbye Baby. Gotta go. It's about, see you down the road. See you next time.
All right. Well, I'm excited to hear Goodbye Baby and The Stranger Blues. I know you had mentioned some awards and some things you kind of want to try to get going in El Paso. Would you like to elaborate on that?
I would. Where I'm from in Syracuse, they have the Sammys. It's called the Syracuse Area Music Awards. And I'd like to do the same thing down here in El Paso. I haven't taken the time. I've approached a couple of organizations to work with me on it, and it hasn't come through for me yet. But what it is, it's a once-a-year awards presentation. You have to put a CD out. You enter your CD into this competition. I'll call it different categories: blues, country, jazz, Americana. And then you hold an event like at the Plaza Theater, and you invite all the bands that entered, and you invite everybody. Anybody would go.
Yeah.
But throughout the process of the evening, you give away the awards for best blues music, best blues album, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And as a music community, it draws everybody together for an evening. And everybody's in the same location. They all go out to eat and have fun afterwards, and they're at this large event, and it's really good for the music community. And I'd like to do that here in El Paso.
Yeah, so it's like just like the little sister to the Grammys is basically what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of towns do it, but El Paso doesn't do it.
Oh, wow. I wonder if anybody, watching or listening can help us out with that. I think that sounds like a great idea.
It's a great
I
event.
think there's enough people here, enough different
bands. I think so too.
Yeah, I think I'd submit something.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And you'd show up at the award show, and you'd bring your band and your family members, and it'd be a great night.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
You may not win.
Yeah.
But you might win next time.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's a little friendly competition.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Let's make it happen. Let's find the people. Let's try to, hopefully this is what this is all about, is trying to get the people to,
That's right.
Listen and learn something new.
You're doing a great thing.
I appreciate it. I try. It's fun for me. I get to meet people,
Sure.
all, ages, places.
Yeah.
It's fun for me. I was in the Marine Corps, and, up until the time that I was 23, the only thing I knew was here and, Lubbock, Texas down the road, So when I went to the East Coast, I was like, what's all this?
Right.
Like it was the first time I had seen trees that were 50 feet tall.
Absolutely.
And I remember getting off the plane and getting punched by humidity in North Carolina, and I remember just like, wow, I'm not going to be able to breathe here ever. And you kind of get used to it, but it's fun. I love meeting new people, and there's a lot of people out there doing real great things. So, if I could help in any way, or I can learn about it, I'm all about it.
Yep, good for you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
But again, Jim does host singer-songwriter night. What days are these?
It's the second Thursday of every month from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Borderland Steakhouse on Alabama.
There we go. And if they wanted to get in contact with you, how would they go about doing that?
Go to jamesrobertmurphy.com, and you can contact me there. All my information is there.
Okay, cool. Do you have any social media pages that you want to?
No, I just have a standard Facebook page, nothing in particular.
And that's Jim Murphy?
I guess.
All right. And then, cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. We're about to hear Jim perform his two songs, and, it was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This is a Sonny Terry, Walter Brownie McGee tune that I learned many years ago from a gal up in New York called Jane Zell. This is called the Stranger Blues. Well, I'm a stranger here. I just blowed into your town. Yes, I'm a stranger here. I just blowed into your town. Just because I'm a stranger, everybody trying to dog me around. Well, I wonder how you people dog a poor little stranger so. Yes, I wonder how you people dog a poor little tiny stranger so. You must remember, you gotta reap what you sow. Well, I wonder, do my good gal, does she know that I'm here? Yes, I wonder, do my sweet thing, does she know that I'm here? Well, if she do, people, she just don't seem to care. I'll be going back to Texas if it takes me 99 pair of shoes. Yes, I'll be going back to El Paso if it takes me 99 pair of shoes. I know that I'll be welcome there and I won't have to. I know that I'll be welcome there and I won't have to. I know that I'll be welcome there and I won't have to. I won't have to. I won't have to pay these stranger blues. Here's another tune. This is one of my songs called Goodbye Baby. It's kind of a Stevie Ray thing. I like to say that Stevie and I wrote this together. Yes, it's true. At the dinner table. And after dinner I said, Stevie, you can have this song if you want it. He goes, no, I don't want it. So I'm playing it. Goodbye, baby. Goodbye, baby, got to go. Oh, goodbye, baby. Goodbye, baby, got to go. Don't worry about me, darling. I'm knocking on your door no more. I'll see you, darling. Maybe I'll see you someday. I'll see you, darling. Maybe I'll see you someday. And when I do, baby, I hope some things are going your way. Goodbye, baby. Goodbye, baby, got to go. Goodbye, baby. Goodbye, baby, got to go. Don't worry about me, darling. I'm knocking on your door no more. I'm gonna start up my Chevy, lay some rubber in all four gears. I'm gonna start up my Chevy, lay some rubber in all four gears. I'm down the road, darling. Somebody else can dry your tears.